The Chicago Botanic Garden is an interesting story because the chief donor was Pleasant Rowland, who invented the American Girl doll. And she was in the audience when we presented, she was part of the jury, a member of the jury when we presented our firm. Sheila Brady and I went together and we talked for about an hour and then took questions. And I showed only 20 slides. I pared it down to 20 images, and one of them that I put in at the last minute was a painting of Helen Frankenthaler and called Nature Abhors a Vacuum. And at the end of the presentation, Pleasant Rowland came running up to me and said, "I love the work of Frankenthaler. I can't believe you used her in your presentation." And I feel that's how we nailed the job, so to speak. We were competing with 4 other landscape architects, and we got the job and we began work. Well, the island, it started with a so-called evening island, which is 5 acres, but as usual, I tried to expand the scope as much as possible and included the entire Great Basin in it, which is the central, biggest water body in the Botanic Garden. That gave us a chance to design the entire edge, the whole circumference of the Great Basin, and plus, of course, the evening island, which was the central design of the whole thing. I actually, for the planting, I actually was inspired by Frankenthaler, and we used great sweeps of plants in a very painterly way in this big landscape. And then I did the terrace in the shape of a chambered nautilus, which is one of my favorite forms. I love that form, and it gives a chance to use lines in the terrace that remind one of the chambered nautilus. And also, it was a meeting place for people just to pause, have a cup of tea, and just enjoy the landscape from a sort of high vantage point. We built lots of models of the Botanic Garden and studied the paths first, just used the paths as a way of pinning down the design, and located the terrace, and studied the way it would relate to the rest of the garden, and that included 2 bridges. And I saw the design of the bridges the first day when I was there to just look at the project before the presentation to the jury. And I saw, if you were standing on the main terrace of the Botanic Garden, I saw a high arched bridge on the left, and I saw a very low serpentine bridge on the right. And certainly the serpentine bridge was inspired by my travels to Japan, and the high arch bridge was inspired by Monet's bridge in his garden. It's very funny because the color of the bridge became a big point of contention. The client was comprised of 20 people, and everybody had a different idea. So finally Barbara Carr, the president, said, "James Van Sweden will decide what color the bridge is, and whatever he says, that's it." So I simply looked at the color of the bridge of Monet's bridge in his garden, which is a kind of aqua color, beautiful, and I just said, "This is it." And so they painted it that color, and everybody loves it.